I found out I wasn't allowed at my best friend's wedding 22 hours before he said I do. Not in a phone call, not in person, in a text message. 3 sentences. No explanation. Just, "Hey man, I need you not to come tomorrow. I'm sorry. Please don't reach out." That was it. From Marcus, my best friend since the 3rd grade. I read it 4 times thinking I was misreading it. I wasn't. Marcus and I grew up 3 houses apart on Claiborne Street. We met when I was 8 years old. He threw a baseball through my bedroom window, actually threw it clean through the glass, and then walked up to our front door and knocked to apologize. His mom made him mow our lawn for 2 weeks. By the end of the first week, we were best friends. That was just Marcus. Even when he broke something, he showed up. We went through everything together. His parents' divorce when we were 12, my dad losing his job the year we started high school, first heartbreaks, failed exams, bad decisions at college parties we don't talk about anymore. When Marcus's older brother died in a car accident our sophomore year, I drove 4 hours in the middle of the night to be with him. I sat on his kitchen floor at 3 a.m. while he cried, and I didn't say a single word, because there were no words good enough. I was just there. That's what we were to each other. There wasn't a version of my life that didn't have Marcus in it. He was the first person I called when something good happened. He was the first person I called when something bad happened. Funerals, promotions, panic attacks, road trips, always Marcus. So when he met Claire 3 years ago and told me she was the one, I was genuinely the happiest person in the room for him. I liked Claire. She was sharp, a little intense sometimes, but she clearly loved him with everything she had. I gave a toast at their engagement party that made half the room tear up. Marcus hugged me afterward, laughed into my shoulder, and said, "You're obviously the best man. We don't even need to have that conversation." We didn't need to have that conversation. Or so I thought. About 4 months before the wedding, something shifted. It was subtle at first. Texts took longer to come back. Phone calls that used to stretch an hour were now 10 minutes, and they always ended the same way. "I gotta go, wedding stuff. Claire's waiting." I told myself it was normal. Planning a wedding is overwhelming, so I gave him space. But then I noticed something else. Every single time I brought up the bachelor party I was organizing, Marcus would pivot. Not smoothly, awkwardly. Like he'd physically flinched and was steering away from something hot. One afternoon, I asked him directly, "Hey, do you want me to hold off on booking anything?" He said, No, we'll figure it out, don't stress." And then he never brought it up again. Not once. 2 months before the wedding, I ran into one of Marcus's work friends at a bar, Jake. I'd met him a handful of times. Decent guy, easy to talk to. But the second he saw me walk in that night, something crossed his face. Something uncomfortable. He came over. We did the awkward small talk, and then right before he walked away, he said something I didn't understand at the time. "Hey man, I really hope everything gets sorted out before the big day." I asked him what he meant. He shifted on his feet. "Oh, nothing, just, wedding stress. For everyone." Then he left. I went home that night feeling a crawling unease I couldn't explain. I texted Marcus. "Hey, is everything okay? Jake said something weird tonight." Marcus replied 20 minutes later. "Jake talks too much. Everything's fine. Don't stress." I should have pushed harder. I didn't. 2 weeks before the wedding, Marcus sent me a message saying he wanted to simplify the best man duties. No speech, no formal role, just a quiet guest at a quiet ceremony. Claire wanted something low-key, he said. I told him, of course, absolutely, whatever makes your day easier. I meant every word. I would have sat in the back row in a folding chair if that's what Marcus needed. I just wanted to be there. And then came that text, the night before the wedding. Hey man, I need you not to come tomorrow. I'm sorry. Please don't reach out. I called him immediately. Voicemail. I called 3 more times. Voicemail, every time. I sent a message. What did I do? Is something wrong? Are you okay? Talk to me. Nothing came back, just silence. I did not sleep that night. I lay staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation from the last 4 months. Every shift in tone, every short reply, every avoided topic. Trying to find the moment I had lost my best friend without knowing it. I couldn't find it. And that was the worst part. After 22 years, I genuinely could not figure out what I had done wrong. By morning, I made a decision I probably shouldn't have made. I drove to the venue. I stayed in the car. I wasn't going inside. I just needed something. Closure, maybe. I watched guests arrive. Marcus's family, friends, people dressed for a celebration I was no longer part of. And then I saw someone I recognized standing outside the entrance on her phone. Marcus's sister, Diane. I got out of the car and called her name. She turned, and when she saw me, something changed in her expression. Distress turned into relief. She walked quickly across the parking lot and grabbed my arm. "You need to hear this," she said quietly. "I've been going back and forth for weeks about telling you." She paused. "And I can't let this go any further." She looked like someone who had been carrying a secret for too long, and suddenly I understood something. Whatever she was about to tell me was the real reason I wasn't inside that building. Diane took a breath. Then she told me everything. Amber, a woman I had dated briefly 2 years earlier, someone Marcus barely knew. Apparently, she had slowly inserted herself into the extended friend group, and when she realized Marcus and Claire were actually getting married, she decided to burn everything down. Amber told Claire that I was secretly in love with her, that I had said Marcus was making a mistake marrying her, that I thought Claire wasn't good enough for him. She even produced what looked like a screenshot of a text message I had supposedly sent. None of it was real, not a single word. Diane had already suspected something was wrong. She checked timestamps, compared stories, looked at old group chats. The screenshots were edited, completely fabricated, but Claire had believed them. And Claire, hurt and convinced she had been betrayed, slowly pressured Marcus to distance himself from me. The shorter calls, the delayed texts, the canceled bachelor party, until finally, the night before the wedding, she asked him to make sure I wasn't there at all. And Marcus, caught between his future wife and his best friend, chose his future wife. I understood that. I really did. But what I couldn't understand, what cut deeper than anything else, was why he never asked me. 22 years, and he didn't pick up the phone and say, "Someone's saying something about you. Is it true?" I didn't go inside. I went home. I sat in my apartment for the rest of the morning, still wearing the same clothes, feeling hollow, like something important had been quietly removed from my life. 3 hours after the ceremony ended, my phone rang. Marcus. He was crying before I even said hello. Diane had confronted Amber at the reception, right in front of other guests. Amber cracked. She admitted everything. The fake screenshots, the lies, all of it. Marcus said he spent the first hour of his own reception in a back room with Claire, going through the evidence Diane had gathered. Claire was devastated. Marcus was ashamed. Then he apologized. For 20 straight minutes. He said he should have called me the moment he heard the accusation. He said part of him knew it didn't sound like me. But he was afraid. Afraid of a fight. Afraid of hurting Claire. Afraid of blowing up the wedding. So instead of choosing the truth, he chose silence. And that silence nearly destroyed everything. I told him how that text message felt. How I spent the night before his wedding wondering what kind of person I had become without realizing it. How 22 years of friendship deserved more than 3 sentences and a voicemail. I said all of it. And then I told him something else. I forgave him. Not because it didn't hurt. It did. More than I can explain. But because forgiveness isn't something you give someone when they deserve it. It's something you choose because you refuse to let the worst moment define everything that came before it. Marcus is still my best friend, not because nothing happened, but because we chose each other on the other side of the worst of it. Claire called me the following week. She apologized, and she meant it. Amber isn't part of anyone's life anymore. Sometimes I think about that morning, sitting in my car outside the wedding venue, watching everyone walk inside without me, feeling like I had been erased from my best friend's life. But sometimes, the story we tell ourselves in the dark is the wrong one. Sometimes, the people who love you are simply scared. And sometimes, if you're willing to stay and say the hard things, they find their way back to you. I was lucky enough to be someone worth coming back to, and I never once took that for granted again.